This is the Analysis in Change with Nathan Williams and Neil Kieran.
Welcome to Analysis in Chains. I'm Nathan Williams. Joining me today is Bolt.global's Jamal Hassim, CEO and co-founder. Jamal, thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Nathan. Good to have this chat with you.
So, Bolt.global, you guys are doing entertainment on the blockchain. Tell me a little bit about your idea.
Well, we have a service which, yes, started with entertainment, but which spans a number of different genres in the video space, but all on mobile. The whole idea behind the service was essentially to bring premium content and video content choices back to the masses, especially in those in the emerging markets, because we found, over the years or decades that the emerging communities, what they've lost out on is access to premium content, access to a variety of content. So, in our view, or Bolt Global, as we call our service, is it intended to bring them back onto the infotainment highway again.
Now, when you're talking about premium content, you're talking TV shows, you're talking things like news or sports, that sort of thing, like mainstream media type of content?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's a whole variety of genres. So if you will, especially for listeners in the more developed markets, this is a replication of pay TV service that users in developed markets otherwise pay for to access things like news, movies, series, music, sport, and, the list goes on. So what we're doing is bringing that offering and breadth and depth of content onto mobile, and specifically addressing the viewers in the emerging markets, with a difference though, because what we carry are basically short trending content and also live channels. So short trending content, what we mean by that is essentially most of our videos are between sort of 5 to 7 minutes in duration. And then we also have the domestic live channels from that country that we're present in. And the reason behind this is because most of the communities that we're addressing have, or are consumers or subscribers to pay as you go or prepaid mobile data plans. So their availability of data or access to data is quite limited. So we've noticed the trend over the course of the last 2 years when we've been running test services that these consumers that we're addressing, they tend to come in for short snacks of the content, right? And then with the live channels,
instead of watching whole movies.
Yeah, exactly. And what they do with the live channels is they'll flip in and out, almost like channel surfing, right? Hoping to catch something interesting at that point of time. But whatever it is, the average duration is sort of between 5 to 7 minutes. That's the sweet spot. So a lot of our content, although premium, have been aggregated and curated to be that short duration.
Now, the big question is, why do you need a blockchain to do something like this? Now, it does seem like it's a valuable service, that people would use it, that people would pay for it. Yeah. Does blockchain add a layer of complexity where complexity isn't needed?
The issue that we have with the media industry today is that independent producers are pretty much excluded from showcasing and after that probably properly distributing the content and monetizing it, right? So users of YouTube, will recognize that, you've basically got all kinds of content there. But the issue for a lot of the producers that are producing and putting their content on YouTube is a monetization of that content. So it can, inevitably for most of them, it's not a sustainable activity. So basically, they can't quit their day jobs, right? But it's actually what they love. So one of the big things on Bolt is not just content that we're aggregating and curating ourselves, right? But also bringing on board independent producers from the countries that we're present in to basically come onto Bolt, basically make a commercial living, essentially, by providing their valuable content to the Bolt viewer community.
It does make sense, I guess, to open the market more to an independent audience, and given the entertainment industry that has been really dominated by the big players for so long, I could definitely see them sort of the Spotification, I suppose, of visual content. I'm wondering how has adoption been so far? I mean, you've been operating for 2.5 years, and one of the big challenges that most people have seen in the market is getting newcomers or maybe the non-crypto natives to use tokens, to buy tokens, to use a wallet. How have you found adoption to be so far? Has it been a challenge?
On the contrary, we've been very, very pleasantly surprised, I must say. Digressing a little bit, we've had our community make lots of noises saying that, over the course of the last 5-6 months, we've been very quiet. Well, the reason why we've been quiet is, aside from, working on various aspects of expanding the business geographically, we've actually been working on the use cases or the utility value of our Bolt tokens. So, for instance, last week when we launched our onboarding process for our Bolt content producers, independent content producers, in Nairobi, the whole event wasn't just about onboarding the independent producers, or we call them our Bolt ambassadors. The whole point was to kick off the fact that our ambassadors or producers are going to accept the Bolt tokens as payment for producing content to be placed on Bolt. So, for us, that's a great validation, right? Because, they are central to the entire Bolt ecosystem, and them adopting the tokens and accepting the tokens as payment is a huge, huge step in the right direction. Another major adoption case for the token was actually an announcement we made about 48 hours ago, because Bolt has obtained or licensed the rights for the ICC T20 World Cup cricket next summer.
Congratulations.
So, it was a lot of work. Thank you. It was a lot of work. Took us a year, but we've now got all Southeast Asian rights for the tournament. So the big thing that we announced 48 hours ago was not just that we had the tournament, but that the tournament is going to be token-only access for our users, right? So it's a super premium event. For those of your listeners who need to find some relativity, it's equivalent to the Football World Cup or Soccer World Cup. So it's a huge event. And although it's a hugely premium event, we've actually made it a token-only event. So viewers wanting to come in to watch the tournament will need to obtain the tokens from us, either purchase them.
How do they get them from you? Do they need to purchase them from you directly, or are they available on exchange?
Great question. So two ways. Three ways actually. One, they can actually just buy them off us. Second is that we have a number of tier one telco distribution partners around the world right now, whom our users will be subscribed to anyway. So they will be distributing the tokens as well. And the third way will be on the chain. There'll be a whole string of activities that will be open to our community to participate in. And through that participation, they can actually earn the tokens as well. What we'll do is in the next couple of months, we'll make the necessary announcement. And to end off that point about utility, we've got actually three major industry players, right? So we're talking about enterprises here, one in telco space, one in financial services, and one in consumer goods, which we're going to announce in due course, who are also adopting our tokens as a rewards program for their users. So last 5-6 months have been incredibly busy, but I couldn't be happier with the progress that we've made insofar as the adoption of the utility of the token is concerned. Yeah.
In the past couple of weeks, and especially as of this recording, we've been in a bit of a crypto bear market. And even as recently as November 2018, we've seen Bitcoin drop heavily in price. Has this affected your product, your token, your launch, or your adoption?
We really need to move away from speculation, right? Insofar as crypto is concerned, because that seems to be the main use for it right now, right? I mean, I'll be honest with your listeners, Nathan. I came into the crypto space or blockchain space probably about 5-6 months ago. It was all very, very new to me. I've always been, a traditional sort of equity investment kind of guy before, right?
Wait. Is there no speculation in the traditional equity investment market?
Of course there is. But there's also, whether you agree or not, there seems to be a tie back to the performance of business, direct tie back to the performance or the fundamentals of businesses to which those equities are linked, right? Whereas, with crypto, there's a more nebulous link, which, bear in mind, I think it's a good thing though. I'll come back to that in a second. I think it's a good thing. But it's also given cause to a lot of wild speculation because there seems to be no link to solid fundamentals, right? Well, I think the stability will come from the demand and supply around a particular token or particular crypto, right? Real demand and supply for practical, real, everyday applications. That's it, really. I mean, when there's that organic demand and supply, I think that whole speculation-driven, force lessens. I mean, it'll always be there, but it will be lessened. It will be lessened because there's an underlying demand and supply, value chain already existing, right? Yeah.
When we're looking at this, like there was a lot of speculation. I mean, when Bitcoin hit 20,000, no, I don't think anyone would argue, okay, it's just pure market fundamentals. Like it went from 3,000 to 20,000 in less than a month. But I think at the same time, you're also right in the fact that we haven't really seen a lot of these projects deliver. We had a lot of white papers, a lot of good ideas, but the delivery, has to at some point live up to it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, which is, again, why sort of the last 5-6 months, we've been getting our heads down and actually focused on, as you say, delivering the project and then delivering the token around the utility that is, that is a fundamental pillar of the business. So, for me, the key thing here for the whole industry, I think, one, as you rightly put it, of projects which say they're going to deliver have to come up, stand and be counted and actually deliver. And second, beyond delivering the fundamental business, they really have to develop the utility of the token. I know it's been said a lot, right? Or it's been discussed a lot, but, projects just need to come out and do it, essentially, right? So
this is good for Bitcoin. The old mantra, oh no, we've lost 90% of the value. This is good for Bitcoin.
Well, so for us, we've been asked because we've got our TGE or token generation event coming up quite soon. Do you guys want to hold back looking at the state of the market? Do you guys want to rethink this? And I said, no, right? Absolutely not. I think it's for projects to come up, stand and be counted right now so that we in, our own little way can bring back some faith into crypto and into, its underpinning, which is a blockchain, right? And, perhaps pave the way for other great projects and other great businesses to come through as well. I think this period is really a clarifying period, if you will, for some of the more, dubious projects to be sifted out, and the stronger projects to prevail, really. So we're going to go ahead, and do our bit.
I think that any project that is about disruption, distribution of power, power to the people, and bringing back a decentralization aspect, especially to independent providers of utility or content or value, is probably well positioned in this new market. And I'm glad to hear that you're pushing forward with a token sale, which I assume is going to be available to the public. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So we'll probably within the space of a week, we'll be announcing the exact dates, and all the accompanying details as well. Your listeners can come into our Bolt Telegram community, for instance, to join in and keep abreast of all the updates and activities that are happening in and around the business. So, definitely we're open to accepting new community members. I think it'll be fun. It'll be great. And, we look forward to basically making this a great success.
Sounds great. So so they would look for Bolt on Telegram, or they can visit Bolt.global on the web. Thank you very much, Jamal Hassim, the CEO and founder of Bolt.global. Thank you for being on the show.
Enjoyed it. Thank you, Nathan.